Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. How we feeling? How we feeling? Good, good, good. Just in time, Jaden. How y'all doing? Shabbat shalom. We just started the children lesson, starting a little late, but it's all right. All right, Shabbat shalom out there. Hope y'all having a good Sabbath. We're about to get into this children lesson. We're going to talk about the Ten Commandments, followed by today's topic, which is bullying. All right. All right, shalom. Shalom. How you doing? You all right? Pretty good. Pretty good. All right. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do these 10 Commandments. Then we're gonna go into today's topic, which is bullying. All right. Bullying. Yep. Now we're gonna take a break from the Kings. Probably pick that up next week. All right. So first things first. You shall have no other gods before me. What is considered another god? TV. What you got, Jaden? Games. What you got? Money, of course.
Fame.
What you got? What you got? Fame. Okay. Name something that's not on this chart. What can you consider? What can be considered another god? Daquan.
Clothes.
Okay. People. Yeah. You can worship. You can idolize people. Yeah. What you got, Jaden? Shoes. Basketball. The sport. Yeah. What you got?
I got a good one.
Oh, let him try to answer. What you got?
Like,
I'm gonna come back. Oh, movies, yeah, of course. Yep. Movies, and pretty much the people in the movies, but yeah, movies, yeah. Statues, of course. So anything that you put your effort into, and statues actually go along with this right here, the next one we're going into, but anything that you put your effort into serving more than the Most High is considered another god. That's idolatry. All right? You shall not make for yourself an idol. And I'm going to add, neither shall you bow down to it. It don't got that written here. You shall not make for yourself an idol, neither shall you bow down to it. Like you said, statues is definitely a good example. Like the Buddha statue. Who know what the Buddha statue is? You know what the Buddha statue is? Okay. Huh? Yeah, no. What, a Buddha statue? Yeah. Y'all got a Buddha statue at your school?
No, we learned about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing, if it was at your school, there's nothing you can do about it as long as you don't bow down to it and worship it. You know what I mean? But you shall not make for yourself an idol, neither shall you bow down to it. You should not misuse the name of Yahuwah your Elohim. How can you misuse the Most High's name? Nah? Swearing and what else? But what, I mean, you can swear, but how can you misuse his name by swearing?
breaking a promise?
Breaking your promise. Or when you say swearing, well, swearing, here, we'll get back into it here. Go ahead and answer.
When you lie, and then you say you swear you didn't do it, and then you did do it.
But it's false, right? Yeah. Swearing, yeah, that's what you mean when you swear on something that's false. You swear on the Most High's name that something is true when it's really false, right? When you make a promise or you make a vow on the Most High's name and then you break it, you know what I mean? That's misusing his name, okay? Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. How can we keep the holy day Sabbath? The Sabbath day holy, excuse me.
Reading the Bible.
Reading the Bible. What you got, Jaden?
Talking to the Most High.
Right. Prayer. Right. What else? Let me get somebody else. What else? Say that again.
Devoting all your attention to Yah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Devoting all your attention to Yah.
Idolizing stuff.
Say that again.
Not idolizing stuff.
Of course. Of course. Of course. So remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. You can come and come to the use the gathering as a holy convocation. That's one of the main ones. All right, we're supposed to gather on that day.
Watch VeggieTales.
Yeah, you can watch VeggieTales. You can watch anything that has to do with the biblical stories. All right. What you got? Say it again. Say it again. What you got?
You said praying.
Pray. Of course. Yeah. Pray. Yep. Pray. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. So we can pray. We can watch stories that pertain to the Bible. What else?
I wasn't really married.
Oh. Okay. So yeah, we can pray and watch things pertaining to the Bible, watch stories pertaining to the Bible. We could and come to the congregation, be amongst our brothers and sisters. All right, that's how we keep the Sabbath holy. Honor your father and mother, so that you may live long in the land Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you. Though we not in the land, how can we honor our father and mother? Jaden.
Doing what they tell you to do.
Right?
Not talking back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, you go.
By keeping them with a good name.
Keeping them with a good name. What else?
Not talking back.
Not talking back.
Not talking. Not. When you get mad at them, not talking about them behind your back.
Keeping them with a good name. That's what she said, but that's still good. Go ahead. What you got, Daquan?
Gifts.
Give them gifts. What else? What you got now?
Don't be disobedient.
Right. So obey them. You honor them through obedience. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's how we can honor our father and mother. Right. We want to definitely keep them with a good name. All right. So that's different ways to honor our father and mother. You shall not murder. You shall not murder. Right. What is murder?
Killing back. Wait, I'm gonna let Jaden.
Go. What you got, Jaden? What is murder? I'm gonna call on you too. You not. You ain't sleep.
Will somebody try to break in your house, like break the window, come in, and then while you're sleeping, just kill them?
Yep. That's murder right there. What's the difference between murder and self-defense?
Self-defense is, murder is premeditated. Self-defense is not. Self-defense is in a moment type of thing.
Yeah. And what happens when somebody have to defend themselves? Somebody else. What you got?
They use a weapon against the person who's using.
Yeah. So somebody break into your house and they try to do you some harm, or somebody try to do you some harm, and you instead you instead do harm to them. That is self-defense, because they came to you with the intention of doing harm. Okay. So that would be self-defense. You should not commit adultery. You should not commit adultery. What is adultery for the man?
Going out of his marriage to go, or no, divorcing his woman, divorcing his wife for no reason, and then going to get another wife.
Okay, divorcing his wife for no reason and getting another wife. Nah.
Is it about the woman now?
No. Here, what divorce? What else is divorce? What else is adultery for a man? Yep. With another married woman. So now, adultery for a man. Get this. Pay attention, y'all. Adultery for a man is when a man, a single man, or married man, has an affair or have sex with another man's wife, or he divorces his wife and gets another wife without her committing fornication. All right, so the only way a man can divorce his wife is if she commit fornication. Okay. What about for the woman? What is adultery for the woman? Or not?
When a woman sleeps with another guy.
Yep, and she's married, right? There you go. You should not steal. You shall not steal.
Stealing for, if she's homeless, she should probably ask.
She should probably ask.
She should probably ask the store owner.
So there's no excuse if she's homeless or if she has money. The law says thou shalt not steal, okay? You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. Daquan, get somebody else.
Neighbor means in Israel means family.
Neighbor means family in Israel. All right. So imagine these two. What you got first? First, what you got?
No, you can say first, and then I'm gonna answer the question.
Oh, here, Jaden, you had your hand up. What you got?
So, if somebody was playing catch with a football, right?
Yeah.
And one of them throws too hard that they can't catch it, and one of them just hits the window.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one who hits the window blame it on his friend. Blame it on.
Yeah, like it's shown. So it's showing here that a man they was playing with a baseball. You had a man hit the baseball, hit the man's window. He hit the ball, hit the man's window, and now he's blaming it on him, though he's holding it back, right? The reason this is important because when we think about the word neighbor is not talking about like your next door neighbor. So it's talking more about your neighbor as in a close relative of some sort. Somebody, maybe it could be your father, maybe it could be your brother. And sometimes, yeah, they could be a next door neighbor, but it's not talking about that when they use the word neighbor. And he's lying and bearing false witness on him and saying that he did something and he really didn't. All right, so that's what we get from this right here. All right. Last but not least, you shall not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor. What does it mean to covet? Daquan.
Covet means lust after someone's possession.
Covet means to lust after someone's possessions. And we know what neighbor mean, right?
Yep.
So like we just talked about neighbor. So she's lusting, just imagine she's lusting after her sister's possession. You know what I mean? She's lusting after her sister's possession to the point where she want to go and take her sister's possession. So it leads to other transgressions, like it leads to stealing, or it can lead to killing your neighbor for their possessions. It's ultimately going to lead to some sin. All right? If you don't get that spirit under control. What you got, Jaden?
What somebody has when they really, really, really want it, and the person who really, really, really want it, asks them can they borrow it, and then they'll give it back, but he actually keeps it forever.
That is stealing. Yeah, and that could be coveting. Maybe that could be coveting if he really wanted it. Yeah, that could be coveting, but it led to him stealing it because what happened was he really wanted it, asked to borrow it, and then he never returned it. So yeah, that it led to another sin. Yeah.
So the stealing isn't coveting, just the really, really wanting.
No, the really, really wanting it is the coveting.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah.
To the degree that you would steal.
Say that again.
Said to the degree that you would steal.
Yeah, coveting. Yeah, coveting would lead to you stealing. You know what I mean? Like it's not actually you. If you don't get that spirit in check and you go and commit the act, that's when it's a sin.
Right. I think he's thinking that actually stealing is a coveting.
No, I think he said it right because what he said was, he said, what if you really, really want something, and what happens is you ask to borrow it, but in your heart you really want to keep it, and then you keep it once it's in your possession, then so you did covet. Yeah, you did covet, but you end up stealing too because you end up keeping that person's possession and never returning it. Yeah. And it's ultimately idolatry, right? Because that became like your God. You was willing to break Yah's commandments in order to fulfill that desire. All right? So we're going to talk about bullying. Who knows about bullying? What is a bully? What is a bully?
A bully is somebody who beats up somebody else at school for no reason.
Absolutely. That's a good example. What else? What you got, Anand?
A
all right. It's all right. It's all right. All right. Don't do that. Don't do that. What you got?
Bullying is what a bully walks up and they tell you to give them something, are they gonna beat you up?
Yeah. All those are correct. Let me see something. Hold on. Give me 1 second. All right. So yes, that is. Yes, that is bullying. All right. Bullying is like a misuse of power. So if somebody know that they bigger than you, or they know that they have the advantage over you, and they use that to commit some type of evil, that can be bullying. So look, we're gonna get some examples. Who know about Joseph? Know about Joseph? Y'all know about Joseph's story. How did Joseph get bullied? His brothers. They was jealous of him. Yep, because he was his father's favorite. Let's read about that a little bit. Y'all got a Bible? Who need a Bible?
Thank you.
How else did Joseph get bullied?
He got bullied because I think brothers. Well, what Corday said, and
What else?
because
Go to Genesis 37 and verse 5. We'll talk about how he got bullied, another way he got bullied in a second. All right? Genesis 37 and verse 5. Oh, you got something? Go ahead. Genesis 37 and verse 5.
wait, I got another way because he was eavesdropping because they were going to sell him away.
Ultimately, yeah, that's still his brethren. That's right though. What you got?
They was jealous because he was his favorite son, and
Yeah.
he gave them his present.
Yeah.
And then they got jealous, and then they put him in a well.
Okay.
And then one of them got felt a little bit sad. So he said 37. So he helped them. 37. They steal what they sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's 38.
All right, we're going Genesis 37 and verse 5, y'all. Come on, let's get focused.
I thought you said 35.
No, Genesis 37 and verse 5. All right, pick up at verse 5. I'm going to read it. Yeah, share.
Can we read it?
Well, I'm in front of the mic. Here, you know what? Come up here. You come up here. Yeah, you come up here and read. Because I need them to hear you, that's why. Genesis 37 and verse 5. Read it.
And Joseph dreamed in a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they
His brethren.
and they hated him yet the more. And
So now look, so check that out. So Joseph's brethren hated him because of his dreams, right? They was already jealous of him because he was his father's favorite. His father made him a long coat with multiple colors, right? They already hated him because of that. And then he started dreaming dreams that had them serving him, okay? So go ahead and keep reading.
And he said unto them, Here I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in field, and lo, my shepherds
My sheep. Yep, sheep.
of ours, and also stood upright.
So
and
Joseph is
behold,
describing his dream now, right? And he is saying he's talking about how his sheep arose and they was in the field. All right, I'm gonna finish reading the rest of it. Where we at verse 7? And it says, And behold, your sheaves stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf. And his brethren said to him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he said, and he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth? And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same. So his brethren hated him more and more for these dreams, but his father just observed it because his father understood better that the dreams was from the Most High, ultimately. All right, so it was saying something more than just his brethren bowing down to him. It was a little bit deeper than that. So his father just observed it and kept it to heart. Right? All right, so we know that his brethren hate him right now. So let's skip down to verse 17. Go to verse 17. Verse 17, it says, and the man said, they are departed hence. So now look, Joseph is sent to spy on his brothers to see where they at, right? While they supposed to be feeding their father's flock, which is in Shechem. And so he go to check to see if they feeding his father's flock, right? And it says, and the man said, they are departed hence, for I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went there after his brethren and found them in Dothan. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. And they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh. Come now therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit. And we will say, some evil beast hath devoured him. And we shall see what will become of his dreams. Right? Hey, can we keep it down in the back, please? Please. Keep it down in the back because I can't hear it. All right, verse 21. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, and that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again. Right, so they coming up with this plot to kill their brother. Right, but then Reuben stepped in and he said, let's not kill him. Let's put him into a pit and pretend that we killed him. All of this is driven by the hatred that they have for him because of their jealousy. All right. Verse 23, and it came to pass when Joseph was come into his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it. All right, so that was all driven by jealousy. All driven by jealousy. So the bullying that they did was driven by something, and it was jealousy and hatred because they wasn't the favorite. Joseph was the favorite, right? I got another one. Joseph still being bullied. I asked y'all earlier, how else was Joseph bullied? So what happened when Joseph went into Egypt? Y'all remember what happened to Joseph when he went into Egypt? When he first went into Egypt? Corday. Before that. Nah.
He was a servant of it.
He was a servant. He was a servant. What else? What else do we remember?
They turned him into a slave.
He was a slave. But what you got?
They were making him do very hard work.
I guess that could be a form of bullying, but I'm not talking about that, but that's good. Oh, here, hold on. One more. Before that, what?
So the king made him scrub his floors and be his wife's guardian and clean the room for them, and he let him do something I forgot, and then after he did bad, send him to prison.
Why did the king send him to prison? Nah.
Because he made his wife cry.
Oh, wait. I know.
Hold on.
Because Potiphar thought Joseph was having sex with his wife.
Absolutely. Something, yeah, close. But he thought that, yeah, he had tried to do that, yeah. So we just gonna read it. I'm gonna point out the bullying part. So it's got something to do with, I'm just gonna give y'all a hint. It got something to do with Potiphar's wife. How did he get bullied in that situation? So it wasn't, what?
They were at a wall with painting on it. And he saw.
No, you thinking about the cartoon now. That ain't, yeah, that wasn't. That's the thing about the cartoon. Here, we just read it. Yeah, you think about the cartoon. Here, let's read it. So when you then Genesis 39, Genesis 30, all of that was good. Those were good though, good examples. I guess you technically can say that they was getting bullied when they was getting oppressed by the Egyptians. So that is right, but I'm not talking about that though. Genesis 39 and 7. It says, and it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not what with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. This is Joseph telling Potiphar's wife that his master has trusted him with everything in the house, right? Verse 9, there is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, talking about her, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against Elohim? And it came, so he don't want to commit adultery and sin against his master and sin against the Most High, right? And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. And it came to pass, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, saying, see, he hath brought in an Hebrew unto us to mock us. And he came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. So she lied on him. She lied and said that he came on to her and that he tried to sleep with her, right? So that's, now the bullying part is with her because of her status in the household. She's the master's wife. She's Potiphar's wife. That would be when you get older and start working, and when y'all go to school and start to become more and more aware, you're talking about sexual harassment. All right, that is a form of bullying as well. All right, that's sexual harassment because he's the servant to her. He said no. She still tried to push up on him and made his job uncomfortable to the point where he ran. Just imagine today in the workplace or in school.
That's what I've been talking about.
Well, you didn't mention that exactly.
I said they were at the wall. And they really.
What wall was they at? Where is that at? You think about the cartoon, that's why. Because I done watched it. It's all right though. It's all right because you was on point. It's all right. But yeah, so sexual harassment. That's what that is. Sexual harassment, and that's a common thing in the workplace, and that's a common thing in school. All right, so it was with her. She initiated. It wasn't Joseph. All right, so Joseph ended up getting thrown in jail because he decided not to. Right, and she had more authority. Who the master gonna believe? He gonna believe her, or Joseph, or he gonna believe her? He gonna believe his wife. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So I got another one. I got one more. Let's go to 2 Samuel 13 and verse 1. So you talking about sexual bullying or sexual harassment at this point that we just mentioned? And we still on it. 13 and verse 1. 2 Samuel 13 and verse 1. And then we're going to wrap it up.
Where is Samuel?
2 Samuel 13 and verse 1. If y'all need help, I can help you. You got it? You got it? 2 Samuel 13 and verse 1.
Oh, wait. You said 2 Samuel 13?
Yeah, 2 Samuel 13 and verse 1.
Oh.
All right.
I didn't even know I was all the way there.
Yeah. All right, so who knows who David's daughter Tamar is? Who is Tamar? Whose sibling is she? She's David's daughter, but who is her brother?
Dang it, I forgot his name. But he was a king after David died.
Well, yeah, she's Solomon's brother too, but directly she is Absalom's brother. So look, let's read it. 2 Samuel 13 and verse 1. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister whose name was Tamar. And Amnon, the son of David, loved her. Y'all got to remember, David had multiple wives. He had sons by each of those wives. So Amnon and Absalom do not have the same mother. Tamar and Amnon do not have the same mother. They just all got the same father, right? It says, and Amnon, the son of David, loved her. So he loved his own sister, right? So now look, check this out. Verse 2. And Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin. And Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. But Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shemiah, David's brother. And Jonadab was a very subtle man. And he said unto him, Why art thou, being the king's son, lean from day to day? Wilt thou not tell me? And Amnon said to him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. And Jonadab said unto him, Lay thee down on thy bed, and make thyself sick. And when thy father come to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come, and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it, and eat it at her hand. So Jonadab is teaching his father's other son is teaching him to do something wicked, right? Jonadab is giving him a wicked counsel, telling him to set up this plan to lay with his sister, and it's unrighteous, right? Verse 6, so Amnon lay down and made himself sick, and when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, Go now to thy brother Amnon's house and dress him meat. So that just means to make him some food, because he's pretending to be sick, right? Let's skip down. I'm going to skip down to verse 10. And Amnon said to Tamar, Bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her and said unto her, Come lie with me, my sister. So he's trying to get her to lay with him, right? He's saying he took hold of her and said, Come lie with me, my sister, right? And she answered him, Nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. So she's begging him not to do this foolishness, not to force her, right? And whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Now therefore I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee. So now she knows that this thing is not a good thing in Israel. Like, this is not supposed to be done. So she's trying to tell him to speak to the king, who is David, their father. And David is going to tell him no, because David, of course, was a righteous king. So she's trying to do everything she can to get out of this situation, right? Now this is bullying too. Watch what Amnon do, right? Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, so Amnon wouldn't listen to her. But being stronger than she, forced her and lay with her, right? He forced her and lay with her, all right? Now with this type of thing, this is called what the world calls rape, okay? This is rape. When you force a man, or when you force a woman, or when a woman somehow force a man, maybe through drugging him or something like that, right? That would be considered rape. This is also bullying too, right? Y'all understand that? He forced his sister. She did not want to do it. She did not consent, meaning she did not give in, and she did not want to do this. This is considered rape. All right, all of this is bullying. Bullying is when somebody physically do harm to you, like they want to fight you. Bullying is when people say really mean things, like say if you have a kid at school and you have them, they don't have the best clothes on, and you got a group of kids that's constantly standing around talking about them every day. That is bullying too. It's not always physical, it can be verbal. All right? Rape is also bullying. Sexual harassment in the workplace and at school is bullying. Okay? Y'all understand? So what is bullying?
Harassing somebody or harming somebody for no reason.
Yeah.
Bullying means if they try to ask you to do something for them, but you say no, but if you don't, they will force you to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Do something what's wrong, and they say no, and they beat you up
Yeah.
when you don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have your hand up back there? You had your hand up? Oh, you didn't? Okay. Thought you had your hand up. Okay. But yeah, that's bullying. Those are some good examples of bullying. And there's many others. Like blackmail. Blackmail is when, if I was to come to you, Jaden, and I'd be like, if you don't do this, I'm going to tell people you did this. So now I know a secret about you, and I'm using that against you to go and do something.
I really didn't do.
No, maybe you did do something, but I know your secret, and I try to get you to do something because I know your secret. Right. Say it again. Blackmail. That's what I said. Blackmail. Yeah. That's a form of it too. All right. So we know what bullying is. Now we got our 3 hallelujahs. All right. You want to count? Go ahead. On the count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. I like that. Let's make the other 2 better. I like that though. Come on.
2, 3.
All right. Let's make the last one the best one. Come on, Lay. You want to join in? No, you didn't. We should hear your voice. Your voice is better than theirs. Come on. Let's go. On the count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
You didn't do it. I was looking at you. You didn't. You lying.
You lied.
All right.
No,
All
you
right.
didn't.
All right.
No, you didn't.
All right. Shabbat shalom. That's the end of class. We talked about bullying today. We talked about the 10 Commandments. We get ready to have praise and worship shortly, followed by today's main topic. All right, y'all. Hope y'all have a good Shabbat. Hope to see you all in class. All right. Have a good one. Shalom.